Welcome, students. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing great. Before we start today's lesson, I need to tell you something. We are having our second accumulative test on July 10th about the contents of unit number 1. So please write that down on your calendar. Recuerden que ya tuvimos nuestra primera evaluación acumulativa y ahora corresponde la segunda. Next Friday, July 10th. With that said, we are ready to start. Last class, we learned about technology and its different types. Do you remember? We say that technology is the use of scientific knowledge to create something that enhances life. Also, we studied different types of technologies, such as medical technology, information and communication technologies, transportation technology, etc. Do you remember now? Great, let's get started with this new lesson then. Today's lesson, how it all began, July 3rd. Objective: to recognize the impact of technology advances in our everyday lives. Remember to always take notes of the objective, the date, the name of the lesson, and of course, the content that we are studying. Well, it is in news that we are currently living in a digital era. Because of all the advances in technologies that have characterized it. Throughout the years, technology has changed our perspective of the world. Modern technology supplies us with amazing resources that alter the way we live our everyday lives. Putting useful information at our fingertips. I mean, how useful is having a smartphone, especially nowadays when technology has been our best friend. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the most significant technology advances of the last century that have had an impact on today's world. So, open your books in page 54. We are going to listen to an audio about these technology advances. You must complete the listening file and answer the questions in the Think Critically section. So, you're going to complete all of this, van a completar todo esto con las preguntas que acá les hacen, and then you're going to answer the questions that appear right here in the Think Critically section. Okay. Once you finish the activity, come back to the video. Entonces van a escuchar el audio ahora y cuando terminen su actividad en su libro o en su cuaderno, van a volver al video. Now, listen carefully and remember to take notes if you don't understand certain things so you can look it up in a dictionary.
Track 21, Student's Book, Unit 2, page 54, Exercise 1.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Technology Times. Today, we're going to learn about the most significant technology advances of the last century that had an impact on today's world. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Kate. You're right. Perhaps the greatest advance in technology was the invention of computers. It can be traced back to almost 200 years ago, when Charles Babbage, a mathematics professor, proposed a machine called a difference engine.
When was that again?
Almost 200 years ago, in 1822 actually. Unbelievable, right? The machine was large as a train and had a stored program, could perform a small number of operations, and print the results automatically. But personal computers as we know them today were introduced in 1981. And, well, this amazing device led to the creation of the Internet. In the 1960s, it was conceived as a tool to link university and government research centers. Nowadays, the Internet is not owned or controlled by any company, corporation, or nation. It connects a large number of people in most countries instantaneously through computers, fiber optics, satellites, and phone lines. And, last but not least, in the year 1973, Dr. Martin Cooper was the first person to make a call on a portable cellular phone. With the help of a telecommunications company, he invented the first portable handset, which was incredibly large and heavy compared to today's smartphones.
Thanks very much, Mark. It's been very interesting. And, dear audience, I expect all of you back in 3 days in Technology Times.
Okay, so now you can rewind the video if you want to listen again, and you can pause the video when you need to listen to specific information. Interesting, right? All of those technologies were created to supply our needs, and they improved our living in a certain way. Pay attention to these next questions from the recording. What could the difference engine machine do? This is the difference engine, the machine that was created long ago, almost 200 years, and it was supposed to be the first computer. Well, the machine could perform a small number of operations. A small number of operations. A small number of operations? Why is that? Because it could only do some math calculations. Computers nowadays can do much more than that. So, a small number of operations like solve math problems, while computers you can chat, you can make calls, create documents, write, watch media, etc. Tons of things. Question number 2. What does the Internet do? Internet connects a large number of people in most countries. A large number of people? How come? Billions of people have access to Internet and they can interact with other people from different countries. A large number of people, for example 5.5 billion people, which is the number of inhabitants in the world in 2020. Third question. What does the presenter of Technology Times say at the end? Dear audience, I expect to see all of you in 3 days. What does she mean? She hopes to see every person in the audience again in 3 days in a new edition of the show. So, all of them, every single person that was there, she expects to see them the next episode. So, a small number of, a large number of, and all of are phrases to express quantities. Can you express quantities? I hope so. That's why we're going to do an activity. You are going to gather some technological items that you have at home, and you're going to represent each phrases expressing quantity with one picture. Total 3 pictures. You must create a sentence and write it on the picture. You can use PowerPoint to write the sentence below the picture too, if you don't think that you can edit it. But I think you can, and you can even do it in Instagram. You can upload the picture and write on the picture and then download it again and submit it in the link in the description. I will show you an example of that. Here is an example. Only a small number of my electronics are blue. So this is the sentence that I made. Yo recolecté todos mis electronics que tengo y me di cuenta de que only a small number of my electronics are blue. A small number, only 2 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electronics that I have. So, submit the pictures using the link in the description. Remember that you must contact me if you have questions. And that's all for today, you guys. I really hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget that next week we have a test, an accumulative test. And that is all for today. Bye bye.